my materials, it has to be potent. That's pretty much my influences were from dark poetry. I give it to that, and Holocaust helped out a little bit too. The Gothic community helped out a lot too, because that was it's a community about the emotions of what's going on in that regard, to the regard of the most painful, sorrowful things. You know what I mean? A lot of Goths self-mutilate. A lot of Goths, they wear black. You know what I mean? And the black is for the respect for the dying and the dead. And that's another point that I need to bring up is that every Goth will be different in their way of explaining what Goth is to them. You know what I'm saying? What the Gothic culture is. But Goth is a subculture like hip hop, and I feel it, man. That's what I'm all about, is representing the dark side of things, because it's just so beautiful, man. It's got a lot of beauty in it. I must say that they were my influences. You know what I mean? The dark poets that I heard, that I heard in person and on the computer, and they really did it for me, man. They opened up my mind, and my mind was like feeling it. It was all about it was my time to express myself, and that's what I did. It was started to express myself lyrically, and I've been writing poetry and rhymes since I was about 14, and back then it wasn't nothing like it is now. It was more like rah street thug shit when I first started out, but I started to grow and started to mature and started to express myself in a deeper way. I wanted to express myself so that other people would understand. It became important for me to express that, the dark side. You know what I mean?
What do you think about the state of hip hop music today, and where it's going? I mean, we've heard Nas made an album called "Hip Hop Is Dead," and a lot of cats seem to think that have a very negative attitude about hip hop music in general. And I think what they people who were sort of stuck in that negative mindset about hip-hop music in general is that those people don't even realize that cats like you exist. They don't know that there are still people who are completely doing it for the sake of doing their own thing and a way of expressing their own interests and the stuff that they're into, and that I make beats for the same reason. So here in this room we have proof that hip hop is alive, So if you could just comment about what you think musically you have to offer the future of hip hop, and maybe a little bit about the negative attitude about it that we see all over the place nowadays.
Definitely. It's a beautiful collage that I have with my whole style. It's just you got the satanic influences in there. You pour that into the mix. You got the Gothic community, Gothic influences. Throw that into the mix. You know what I mean? And you got the raw hip hop side too, where the b-boy era, where it was like, what I'm saying, you step to me the wrong way, you're gonna catch it. You know what I mean? And it was like hip hop letting it be known that I ain't taking no shit. You know what I'm saying? The b-boys were like, my style is better than yours, and I'll show you why. This is why. You know what I mean? But as far as hip hop goes, I mean, I think it's beautiful that it's grown as much as it has, because I remember when it was first coming out, people didn't even know what to call it. It was just like, you know what I mean? It was just music, and we created a genre, and now we have different genres in that genre. So it's a beautiful thing to have it flourish the way it is. It's expanded all across the world, and I'm glad that it did, because people have things that they need to say, and this sometimes you can't just explain it to somebody who wants to know. You know what I mean? So you say it in a song. Sometimes, you know what I mean, a friend of yours might get murdered, and you don't want to say to the police who did it, but you make a rhyme about it, and you just express your feelings, your last words to your fans, or to the fans of that person, and that way people understand what happened and have a view about it. But like, the artist has to let it be expressed. He's taking that canvas, and he's putting his touches on it, the final touches, and it's beautiful. You know what I mean? So I respect hip hop. I respect it a lot, and hip hop raised me too. When I was younger, I was listening to Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Big Pun, of course. Rest in peace to all three of them. And you know, listening to all these people, man. ODB, rest in peace, ODB. And you know, just checking it out, man, and trying to see what they were doing, but having my own vision in mind as well. Because it's only natural to try to imagine what you wanted to do, to let it come to life in your own way. So as far as hip hop goes, I think that it needs to be respected, man. People are just getting lazy with it, and they're not really making music because they want to make it. They're making it because people want them to make it that way. And I've just heard a lot about the fans, and how the fans aren't even feeling the music like that, and that the big machine is being funded by these super rich people who have enough money to influence to have enough money to influence a record label, and to tell a record label this is what the people want to hear. And then they got fans and a following because people do like music, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that that's what they want to hear. So it's pretty intense when you think about it, and in that way where it's not necessarily a thing that the artist might want to do, but the artist makes music because that's what they're told to do by the record label. It's pretty bad in that way. It's horrible. But I'm glad to be an underground MC, and I would like to be heard, you know what I mean, by the masses. It would be good to have them hear it and see what they think about it, and see what they do with it, and see how they will take my influence and create their own canvases as well, create their own paintings and music. I want to see how that's gonna come out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was reading an interview recently with Chuck D from Public Enemy. Respect Chuck D. He was basically saying that one of the advantages of making hip hop nowadays is that we have the access to the internet, and you can promote yourself through the internet. And back in the day, to get put on, you would need a record contract. You would need to get in the door and have everybody else, you know, a group of people do everything for you. And one of the advantages of the internet now is that you can make your own video, you can make your own music, and you can put it out there, and it will get exposure that you never would have been able to get years ago. So my opinion is that the future of hip-hop is bright, because cats like us have so many different ways to get ourselves out there, and that we never would have had, you know, even 10 years ago. You didn't have that. It's very easy to put a negative spin on it. I prefer to put a positive spin on it, because people, if you have a specialized type of music like you do and I do, you even more so, people will seek that out. The people who want to hear it will find it, and you know, that's the power of the internet. Things are good, you know, things are looking up for hip-hop.
Yeah, you got cats that are doing tracks about van sneakers and shit. That's pretty interesting right there, you know. Shout out to the pack, man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who's trying to make their own paths in hip-hop and just create that buzz, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing to see people try to do different things, and seeing skaters and seeing all sorts of different things that you never would have had seen probably. But it's so beautiful to see it all come together, you know what I mean? It is a wonderful thing, and I'm glad to see it at this point in my life right now, because I have a son myself, so I want to make sure that he sees hip hop and what I've done with it, and